Are you that paper crafter that loves to create cards and paper crafted projects using intricate, elegant die cuts? Today I'm going to share some of my top tips to creating some very simple and easy cards along with some very elegant frame cards using our new Frame a Card dies. These tips and techniques will allow you to create lots of versatility and take your card making to the next level. The first die we're going to use is the Eyelet Rectangle and Basics die. This die is your absolute basic that you can use so many different ways. You can use them to layer 5x7 and your regular A2 size card, plus some other sizes as well. So we'll take a look at just some of the different looks you can get, some of the different cuts you can get. But what I really want to focus on is this is a layer of a 5x7 card and the A2 size. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes I have issues when I'm cutting out a card, getting it symmetrical, plus the second layer. So this die does that for you in the 5x7 and the A2, which is the 5.5 by 4.25 size. So all I did was I folded a cardstock in half and layered this die on top. This is the 5x7 size. The same principle follows for the A2, the 4.25 by 5.5 size. So this blade does not cut over the crease line, so you just tape that die down, and that automatically cuts your card base to size. So we'll run that through the machine, and once that is through, that will have cut a base that looks like exactly like this, and then you could layer this on top. That's what I did for this card as well. So you can do your card base, you can do the second layer, and then the consequent layers. And that gives you just a quick, beautiful, elegant card that's simple, easy, and measures really beautifully. Nothing's off kilter and off center with that. So you'll just bring that out and everything's cut out, everything's straight and ready to go. So the Eyelet Rectangle and Basics die is one of those dies that you definitely want to have as that basics that you go to all the time for your card bases. The Frame a Card Leafy Borders die has 9 pieces. This is a fun die to use to really get those borders for all your different card sizes. So you've got the A2, the 5x7, the 6x6, and also some other sizes you can use as well. Oh, paired with this little die, which is extremely versatile. This one you can actually make a full circle. And then you've got these inner sections that cut out as well. So let's take a look and see all the different fun ways you can use this. So here I've got my card just layered. It's a 5x7 one, so we're using that size today. And you choose 2 of the dies that fit the 5x7 section. If you're not sure, you can always lay your die on top and see which ones pair together with the size of card that you're actually using. So you'll just lay this onto your paper, color of choice. I have been doing white and then sponging in color, but you could totally use like a light pastel green, whatever color you prefer. So this is something that you'll just basically make sure it's positioned in the center, tape it down on both sides, and you'll do that to both pieces and run that through your machine and it will cut them out just like this. I sponged these dies with a green Memento ink and just colored it with the glitter. Once it is dry, you can then go back and you can glue this frame all the way around the edge. So we'll just do one side at a time. There's a nice border around this edge that you can add a nice little layer of glue. For this one, we'll start at the top. So this one just matches all the way up to the corner of the card. Just press, press, press that down. Now this one is glittery, so my cardstock is a little bit stiff. If it pops back up again, you might want to use a little bit of those little alligator clips or binder clips on the side to hold it down. So we'll just continue to add that on both sides. So this is a quick way to add a fancy die border along your card edges. so that you can easily just add something in the center, and if you pair it with the beautiful papers, it just turns out so, so pretty. So we'll do that all the way around the edges, and you'll just continue to glue that. I'm going to add, if some of the corners pop up a little bit while you're going, I typically wait until the end to go back and just kind of press those down, make sure everything is good to go. So we'll do this on the bottom. So as you can see, you can use this for a 5x7 card, a 6x6, your A2, and then there's some other sizes that you can use as well. So huge versatility with this. We're going to go ahead and just glue this last piece in to create this frame. You could also bump two sizes together to kind of create like a ribbon border. I have some samples at the very end that show all these dyes mixed and used together on finished projects that I just can't wait to show you. So I just give that some time to dry. You can also, this is designed that this corner fits perfectly up in here. As you can see, you could just add a sentiment, that card would be done. Or if you love the lilacs, I had used the lilac paper in the background, you could add this to, with the lilac, you could pop another butterfly on top, and you'd have a very quick, stunning card. The Intricate Swirl Frames die is very beautiful, and it cuts out many different shapes. So with this one, you can use this frame just by itself, and you'll actually have that solid piece in the background. So you can layer it with some beautiful papers. But for this cut, what I did is I took this die piece and I layered it onto my card base, and then I went back and added this inner piece on the inside. So when you do that, you're actually cutting out two pieces at one time. Now, if you're cutting this at home, I would definitely add, since this is a larger piece, I would add a paper shim on top so that you have more pressure when you're running it through your manual die cutting machine. And definitely use a machine that is very sturdy. These cut out very beautifully. You'll just run that through, and that will cut out this piece if you layer these two together, and it will also cut out this piece as well. So when that comes out, it'll just cut out both of those very beautifully. Once that's cut out, there's also another two die pieces in this. So this die piece, there's two. If you use both of them, you're going to have that center piece all cut out that looks just like this. And then if you remove this piece, you'll have a piece that's like this that you can stamp a sentiment. So lots of different cuts, and then you can utilize that on a 5x7 card as a background. You could just do this. You could use a foam dot, layer that frame, glitter it up, and put that decorative piece more towards the background. And then you can use this as a fancy accent with your sentiments. The Eyelet lace frame is another classic frame die that you can use all as one piece. You can cut it out, you can cut it separately, and do lots of fun borders with this. So with this one, you get three pieces. One of them is a 5x7 piece that you get this beautiful decorative cut. Here we've layered it multiple times, add a pearl, so it's super elegant. This one is paired with the Intricate Swirls die frame that I just showed you. It's this piece on top paired with the Sweet Peonies. So when you cut this out, we're going to show you some die cutting techniques with this. You can just lay this down. Another beautiful piece that's in this set is this beautiful frame that gets cut out with a decorative piece, which is really pretty. So you're going to just lay this down onto your regular piece of cardstock, and I'm running this through my machine. Now this is a very large die. Larger frames take a little bit more technique in cutting them out. So I'm going to show you those techniques. So for my machine, I want to add another piece of cardstock right on top. And since that doesn't cover the entire piece, I'm going to just lay another one right down here because I want to make sure that that has enough really good pressure all the way through. And we'll run that through the machine, and that'll cut it out for you. Once that's all cut out, you can flip it around, and you'll see that there are still two little layers right on top and bottom that are not precisely cut out. No worries, that is totally okay. What you noticed is the area that's going up and down is cut out well, but this direction is not. That's because the rollers are going in the same direction. So we're going to rotate this on our plate So that moves position and that makes it those are going lengthwise. We're going to put our piece of paper right on top again, and we're going to just pop that in and run that through one more time. So I would highly recommend running it through 2 times. So when that comes out, that is all beautifully cut out. So that is the trick to making sure that that has those beautiful cuts. And then I like to use this little tool-in-one and then just pop that piece out. You can, if you want, you can kind of go all over the background so that kind of starts spitting out some of those little die cut pieces. But you can also just pull that out and you have that beautiful frame all die cut. This is so exciting. It's fun to see it all come out. If it's kind of pulling out a little bit harder, you can always put wax paper in between, or you can use your little tool-in-one and that just pulls that right out for you. I'm just going to press a little bit in here again and that pops out and you have that beautiful die cut frame that you can layer, you can cut it apart and use it many different ways. So again, to start my base of the card, I like to use the Eyelet Rectangle and Basics die. You can do something very simple, something very quick using the inside of one of the other dies to just finish that accent around your just a note. Here's another card that we just added, the 5x7 cutout from the Eyelet Rectangle and Basics, added the butterflies and the decorative leafy border from the Frame a Card leafy border die. This die has been used so many different ways. So if we take a look at this piece, the piece that kind of looks like a little fan, that you can do a continuous border. So here you'll see it was used on the bottom of these flowers. So you'll cut one out and you just set it right next to the edge and add another one. So you could do a full circle with that. Here you'll see the piece just tucked into the edge, paired with our little butterflies and some other fun accents. Here's another variation of the border frame on a 5x7 card, and I absolutely love how those borders from the 5x7 were paired together to create those gold accents. This is actually held sideways there, and then we added this center as well. So you can do lots of fun, beautiful accents with these. Your imagination is endless with these, the possibilities and everything that you can do. So you can add that to the accents of card bases and little boxes. Here is one where we added those fancy corners and just made a little circle. So you could use those as centerpieces, accents, and you see that fun butterfly and flower paired in the center. So this is more like a fun box that you could add a gift or some cards. The other dies have some really, really pretty cards with those two. So the Eyelet lace frame, this one is perfect in the center for your sentiments. So let's take a look at some of those samples. This one, a lot of our design team members did the white on white base with that. There's a little fan underneath with a sentiment. How pretty is that? Here is the accents on the background as well. Here's using all the dies with the cutout in the center. Here's one using the white butterfly from the Butterfly Dreams collection and pairing it with multiple dies just layered together. These cards will be on the blog with instructions. Here's that very same frame just done in gold, completely different look, just based on the color. This one, there's 2 frames just offset a little bit, so there's a gold and an aqua, which is really, really pretty. Here on the inside of this card, that frame was just cut down a little bit, so used as an accent. And then on this one, I love the total white on white. This is kind of like a little bird nest with the Lush Lilac, all done in white, and added the love accents from the Heartfelt Love collection. Here is a card from the Intricate Swirl and Frames. This is beautiful, just white on white as well, just with all those layers. Use your foam dots, use those sentiments in the center and have some fun with it. Here's another one with the tone-on-tone white, just pairing those together. You can do different layers. Here is the accent piece for the sentiment layered on top of each other. I absolutely love using that one. And then here is the accent piece just cut apart and paired with the rectangle basics in the center, added the little thank you and that beautiful butterfly on top. Last but not least, we have a beautiful banner topper that came from the Frame a Card leafy borders. We're just going to scroll through this a little bit so you can see that there was just holes on the side using different flowers, different sentiments from the journal pages and from different paper collections. So that's a very nice topper for a tag. Or you could do like a 6x6 and just use it on the edge as like a little pull-out for a pocket. So I can't wait to see what you create with yours. The versatility and possibilities with these frame a card dies are endless. I can't wait to see what you create with yours. You can share your projects with us on Facebook. And if you don't have these dies yet, make sure to get yours ordered today so you can start creating your own. I've added the links below for quick and easy ordering. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming videos. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you next time.